Hey guys, this is Tucker from Mac Kite, and today I'm going to talk to you about Cabrinha's new kite release, the AV8, or AV8 if you will. This is an exciting new kite in their lineup, something that we're excited to see come in and kind of fill a void for them. The AV8 kite is going to be their Freeride kite. It's very pull and go, easy to fly, so let's jump into it. We'll talk about some of the intricacies of this kite, who it's for, and just give you some first impressions that we felt after testing it a few times. Really describe the kite. As with all of our videos, go ahead and click the eye icon. It's going to take you to a written blog where you'll find more of this information, as well as links to the product pages that we're talking about. So guys, this AV8 kite is their new Freeride kite. It's not replacing the Switchblade, and the Switchblade certainly has a special place in I think a lot of riders' hearts. But if you're after a kite that's similar to the Switchblade, only a little better upwind, a little bit more grunty, and a little more lofty in the jumps, this one could be for you. So while the Switchblade has grown to be a little bit more friendly for those guys doing unhook tricks or riding in the waves, and is certainly an extremely versatile kite, it's also sacrificed some of its loftiness and maybe pull and go usability that it had in years past. So if you're after that kind of 2011, 2012 Switchblade feel, this kite could be for you. So I got to ride this kite in some lightish winds, you know, probably around 9 knots, lulling down to 7, maybe as high as 10 or 12, gusting. This kite isn't the lightest kite on the planet. It's got a lot of struts, but what I can tell you is it uses its weight extremely efficiently. So it's very flat, high aspect kite. It's using every ounce of its weight in the most efficient way possible. So while it's not the lightest kite on the scale, it does hang in the sky really easily. For a high aspect kite, you'd think it would want to kind of overshoot your head or backstall in those kind of conditions, but it did not. It stays very stable. It's a very well tuned kite, especially for a first generation kite. They've really figured this one out. You can tell they've gone through a lot of R&D to get it right. The next day I went out, was moderately powered on a foil and having a good old time. You know, really this kite had a little bit more power, got to experience the wind range of it a little bit. And in 18, 19 knots, I can tell you that it had plenty of room left in the top end of the kite, plenty of bar left for D-power. So that let me know that, you know, this thing's got a really big wind range. The last day I flew this kite was with Mark, and we were getting, you know, kind of 17 to 20 knots of kind of wind. It was a little inconsistent that day. It sort of died near the end. But on a twin tip, even in that light wind, it went upwind extremely well. Very easy to fly kite. Doesn't need to be whipped around the sky a whole lot. Kind of just pull and go and have fun. It's very boosty and fun to jump with. Although with the 11 meter in that kind of wind, I probably would have liked a little bit more wind, or maybe a larger kite for the ultimate boosting. In that wind with a foil, which I typically wouldn't fly an 11 meter with a hydrofoil in that kind of wind. I'm more of a small kite kind of a guy, but I went out and just pushed the limits in terms of speed and did some boosting. And really, again, was super surprised by the amount of wind range in this kite. I'm confident that I could fly this kite with a foil to 25 knots if I really wanted to, and well beyond that with a twin tip, which is saying something for an 11 meter kite. I mean, this thing almost covers the range of 2 kites. It's got that large a wind range, especially when you trim it back. So very impressed by this kite. Once again, you know, this is for your free ride guys. You want to hook in and boost to the moon, have just a really easy riding kite that covers a lot of wind range territory. This kite is for you. You know who it's not for probably is going to be your hardcore wave or unhooked guy. It's really just not for that style of riding. Although I did have a lot of fun riding the kite in the waves on foil. Being as efficient and large of a wing as it is, it kind of falls downwind due to its power, not necessarily driftability like you would think of with the drifter. But since it does hang in the sky, if you keep the kite high, it will fall downwind with you rather than backstalling. So it's kind of a nice 2-for-1. Typically, I'm more of a drifter guy, although this AV8 kite does really have me kind of reconsidering my larger drifter. You know, whether I want a 9 drifter, do I want to go to an 11 AV8 or a 9 AV8? Those would both be some fun options as well, especially getting into more jumping and you know, maybe twin tip versatile kind of a kite. As I said, I'm not huge into this style of riding, although I do enjoy doing it. So I'm gonna tap in our local team rider, Mark Hooksma, and have him tell you what he thought about it, as he is kind of the aficionado in this category.
Hey, I'm Mark Hooksma, and we're talking about the new Cabrinha AV8. I got a chance to fly the 11 meter the other day in 9-10 knots with the NP Surf Wing Small. And I got going. It was a good time. Drivey kite, lots of power through the turn, and very smooth turning. I never dropped the kite, so I didn't have a chance to try and relaunch it, but it seems like it relaunches pretty well since Tucker was able to relaunch it in about 9 knots that day. So all good there, I believe. Following up a couple days later, I had it out on a twin tip on Lake Michigan with some waist-high waves and 20, 21 knots on the 11 meter again, same kite, and it was lofty. I haven't had the chance to boost on a kite like that in some little kicker situation with the twin tip in a while, and I was really digging the feeling of flight that I was getting with that puppy. It was load, go, snap, and fly and glide and hang out with the seagulls up at 20, 25 feet, which is a nice experience. I fly this kite on my Fireball because that's how I roll, because I'm 49 years old and my shoulders don't like to unhook, and the Fireball is a very smooth flowing fluid system. And with the AV8, all I had to do was send that kite, load it, and hang out in the air until I was done making my sandwich, eating it, and digesting it. So if you want to hang out up top for a little while, go for this kite.
So guys, that's what Mark has to say about it. As with all of our videos, go ahead and click the eye icon in the upper right hand corner, take you to our written blog as well as the product pages so you can see what this kite looks like and see what pricing is like for it. This has been Tucker with Matt Kite. We'd appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, or shared with a friend.